Richo, did it show that Crisafulli was being evasive by not answering directly for several days, if not weeks? It went into the weeks that he didn't say yes or no. On our forum, the People's Forum throughout the week, he did say definitively, finally, yes, he supports a woman's right to choose.
Yeah, dragged kicking and screaming to the barrier, as they say, because he could have done that weeks ago, months ago, years ago. I don't know why he would muck around with it, but it can't have helped him. Mind you, he doesn't need a lot of help in this election. I think Labor are battling. You
think they have a comfortable win, the LNP?
Yeah. Sadly, I must say yes.
Are you calling it already? It's, 6:10?
That's the early.
5 in Queensland.
5 in this country and the polls have not closed.
Richo called 2012 before the polls had closed. I remember that. I got really angry. It was expectation management.
He gets pretty good mail, I've got to say.
So he does get the best, yeah, no doubt about it. In terms of Crisafulli's response, should he have been more definitive in how he handled that issue?
I thought he was definitive. I thought he was. He said, we've got no plans. I mean, that is pretty definitive.
Yeah, look, I've got to speak for the women here. One of the problems with the abortion issue is it was a conscience vote back under Anastasia's government. So it is reasonable if you were asked now, would it be a conscience vote again, particularly on the Liberal side of politics? Of course it will be. It has historically been a conscience vote. The problem was he wasn't quick enough in dealing with that, saying it was, and he needs to say that for his backbench, but also then outlining exactly where he stood on the issue. Now, Blind Freddie can tell you it is a state election, abortion is a state issue, you're in a state like Queensland, you should anticipate this, right? He should have anticipated a question, his colleagues should have known what the response would be, and he should have cut it off very quickly. Katter was opportunistic. The Katter Party knows that this issue in a deeply conservative state like Queensland splits, and he only came out very late in the piece to say it wasn't about the primary choice of abortion or not. It was about late-term babies born alive and medical care. Now, I think it'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't want to support the idea that if a baby is born late-term and alive from a planned abortion, that child should get medical care. In Queensland, they do not get medical care. 200 have died since the laws came into place. In other states they do. Victoria, they don't as well. So I think it's reasonable to have this debate. We should be a country that has this debate fairly and appropriately and soberly. But I agree with James. This is the Democrats' game that's happening in the United States coming to Australia, and we should resist this.
Did Jacinta Price help on this?
Absolutely not. It's not a national issue either. There is a Medicare provider number associated with it. But all the legislation, state-based legislation. But Campbell, beg your pardon, David Crisafulli should have known, should have anticipated this, should have been ready for it.
Particularly when he voted against decriminalising.
He was flat-footed.